you do have one guy who, yeah, he's smaller, but he's a top fighter. He can punch, and he's fighting a guy who's not a top pro fighter, who's bigger.
I can see Tank just outboxing him and making it real easy.
Tank Davis is a violent human being. He's a savage, and he didn't feel in his element. It's a real thing. It's a real thing. If you're from the hood, you will know.
Boxing pros reveal that Jake Paul has no real chance of surviving against Gervonta Davis. Shakur Stevenson explains that despite Jake's huge size advantage, it won't help him beat Tank. He believes Tank's superior skill and experience will dominate the fight. Shakur predicts that Tank won't aim for a knockout since Jake is too big to drop easily, but will completely outbox him and win by decision.
Difference between these two guys.
I mean, size will play some part of the fight, but if I'm thinking like I'm Tank, I'm probably just going to go out there and try to outbox him and use my knowledge and IQ against him. So I can see Tank just outboxing him and making it real easy.
Is there any way you could, any realistic or legitimate way in your mind you could see Jake Paul winning a fight against Tank?
No.
No way.
Nope.
Not a lot of people have talked about Jake and said he's got good power. Not even and I get anything could technically happen, but you don't even see a realistic shot where he could land one big punch, and Tank being so much smaller, he just can't handle the power.
Nah, not at all. I think Tank is he's been boxing his whole life. He's been boxing since a kid, so I doubt like that's gonna be an issue or problem. I think Jake is good for where he's at, but I think it's just levels.
Do you see a more likely chance that Tank wins by decision or by knockout?
By decision. I mean, that guy's too big. I don't think that he's just going to knock that guy out. So I see him like outboxing him.
Could you see a realistic possibility where Tank could knock him out? Although more likely that it is, like you just said, a decision.
Nah, I don't see him knocking him out, no.
Will you watch, Shakur? I mean,
no.
Obviously, no?
Hell no. Nah, that ain't really like... I mean, like I said, here's the thing. Like, I got two sides of me when it comes down to I got a business side, then I got a competitor side. And from the competitive aspect, it don't excite me for me to be like, okay, I want to watch it.
Showbiz the Adult explains that Tank has already proven his ability to handle taller and bigger opponents, such as Ryan Garcia. He reminds people that Ryan was not only taller but also faster and more explosive, yet Tank still found his rhythm and defeated him decisively. The YouTuber and analyst believes that if Tank could close the distance against Ryan, who had real boxing experience, then Jake Paul will be no different. Jake's size may look like an advantage on paper, but Showbiz insists that boxing is about distance control, timing, and ring IQ, all areas where Tank excels. He believes Tank has mastered the art of reading movement and setting traps, and once Jake steps into the ring with him, those skills will surface quickly.
Emotionally, see if he's rattled. See, when it's all said and done, the whole talking shit goes out the window. Jake's scared. And let me tell you this too. I looked at I'm sizing them up. I'm looking at Tank and Jake, and I'm looking at them. Tank can reach him too. He reached Ryan Garcia. He reached Mario Barrios. I was like, he ain't gonna be able to reach him. He's gonna reach him. I saw Tank's gonna reach him. He knows he's gonna reach him. Listen, I want to say this too. Funny as hell. Before I say all this, Alicia Baumgardner, shout out to you, girl. I couldn't believe out of all the women to be the first one to do 3 minute, 12 rounds, it's Alicia Baumgardner. And I really know if I have a great endurance, great stamina, and she's doing this shit. Shout out to Alicia Baumgardner. Because, what's her name, Layla? I don't really know her like that. But she looks like she ain't rattled by Alicia. So that's a perfect dance partner for that. Try to drag Alicia Baumgardner into lake water, see what's going on with that. Shout out to Alicia Baumgardner. But let's get back to Tank. First of all, Tank knows what he's doing. Tank Davis, he said, he was just making all these implications that it's going to be scripted. When he said, you're paying me, and then he was like, yo, you're going to have to give me extra. And then he said that this is scripted.
At the end of the day, I gave this little guy an opportunity. He should be thanking me. I'm paying him. I'm his boss. He reports to me, and I'm going to fucking son him on November 14th. So fuck you, little man.
You paying me? Are you paying me?
Yeah.
100%? 100%. Facts?
Correct.
Yes? Correct?
Correct. I'm your daddy.
40.
Chris Algieri praises Gervonta Davis for his ability to draw massive attention every time he fights. According to Algieri, boxing is not just about skill anymore, It's about who can attract fans and bring life back to the arenas. Tank has become a symbol of that new era. Every time he steps into the ring, he brings a surge of excitement that captures both die-hard boxing enthusiasts and casual viewers. Algieri points out that Jake Paul, though not as technically skilled, has played a similar role in reviving mainstream interest in the sport. His entry into boxing has brought in a new crowd, people who might not have watched boxing otherwise. Algieri believes both men, in their own way, are good for boxing because they draw attention from different audiences.
About the face of boxing could be Jake Paul soon. And the
face
of boxing is basically, the face of boxing now is based on if you sell and if people tune in and how many eyes are tuning in when you fight. Gervonta Davis had that. Jake Paul has that. Now they're fighting each other.
Again,
these are
created products. These are still created products. Jake made his name going to Walgreens and making funny faces. You know what I mean? And it was just blowing up on YouTube and whatnot, right? I mean, that's how he started.
The world we live in now, dude. It's unfortunate. Okay, it's not like Sugar Ray Leonard, who was the best fighter in the world and marketable. It's not like Oscar De La Hoya, who was a gold medalist, a great fighter and marketable.
But what I'm saying is technology allows us to make, if I want to take this shoe off right here, and I say I want to make my Nike sneaker into the best product possible, and I got enough money to push it behind it. I put it all over your social media platform, and I put it all over your TV set, and all over your phone, and all over. You know what, bro? You're gonna start to get curious about the shoe.
Charleston White dismisses Jake Paul's career as nothing more than entertainment disguised as boxing. He argues that none of Jake's fights have had the genuine feel of a professional bout. They are carefully staged exhibitions made to generate views and money. According to him, Jake has not yet stepped into the ring with a true top-tier boxer who could test his skill and endurance. Charleston's words reflect the frustration of many boxing purists who believe Jake is playing the system, using boxing as a marketing tool rather than treating it as a craft. He believes that if Jake ever faces someone like Gervonta Davis, the difference will become painfully obvious. Davis's training, reflexes, and experience against world champions would expose Jake's lack of depth. For White, Jake's popularity cannot hide the reality that exhibitions don't build legends, real fights do.
YouTube boxing and what people say is going on in the media, without a doubt, I think Charleston White is 100% right about that. Don't believe anything you hear. Don't believe anything you see. Wait to see how things play out, and ultimately everything will come out in the wash. Well, going into this fight with Gervonta Davis, I had my concerns about the fight because of the same type of reasoning that Charleston White used, except for mine is slightly different. I don't think that either one of these guys are going to try to do too much damage to each other. Number one, because if it's scripted, which more than likely to an extent it will be, Gervonta Davis is not going to put himself in a situation where Jake Paul is going to actually be able to hurt him. And with these 12-ounce gloves on top of Gervonta Davis's hands, which is bigger, 2 ounces bigger, I do believe.
Teddy Atlas, one of the most respected voices in boxing, compares a potential Jake Paul versus Gervonta Davis fight to the time Jake's brother Logan fought Floyd Mayweather. He explains that while Jake may have the physical advantage, Tank's experience will make the difference. Atlas describes Tank as a dancer, a fighter who controls the rhythm, pace, and energy of the ring. According to him, Tank has fought dangerous opponents his entire career and developed the instincts to break down anyone, regardless of their frame. Jake, on the other hand, lacks the sharpness and ring awareness needed to survive at that level. Atlas emphasizes that boxing isn't about size or muscle, it's about precision and control. When Tank moves, every step is calculated, and every punch has a purpose.
So I liked this when I heard it. No, I didn't like it, to be honest, for the optics and everything else I just said. But you do have one guy who, he's smaller, but he's a top fighter. He can punch, and he's fighting a guy who's not a top pro fighter, who's bigger. What if he hits him on the chin? What if he hits him on the chin? It'll wind up selling. And that's what'll wind up selling it. The what if. What if Tank makes him do a cha-cha? He hits him on the chin, and Jake Paul, we're going to find out if he can dance. Whoa, 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 whoa. You know, do the cha-cha. That's what's going to sell it. And you can't argue that what if. You can't. I know I get to places that other people won't go and everything else. They just dismiss stuff because it's easier to do that. It's safer to do that. You don't have to bows and arrows coming at you from people that argue with you because you did that. But I don't care. I've had bows and arrows my whole life. I don't care. But that's true. That what if this guy who is a real good puncher, who is one of the best fighters in the world right now, what if he hits him? What if he makes a miss and he counters him? Or he jumps up in the air. Bang!
Showbiz the adult also comments on Gervonta Davis's personality outside the ring. He admits that Tank might not be the most polished talker or businessman, but that's not what makes him dangerous. Tank's confidence comes from where he grew up, an environment that demanded toughness, not speeches. Showbiz says Tank's body language during press conferences says it all. He never looks scared, pressured, or overwhelmed. When he stands across from his opponents, there's a silent energy that communicates more than words. Showbiz points out that while Jake Paul is skilled at promoting fights and using the media, Tank's aura doesn't rely on marketing.